Yeah, pin it to the. Yeah, sorry about the bad connection, folks. Cake over here, man. His little friends were trying to steal the internet, so that thing went down. So it's Cake and his little friends got his friends in the hallway trying to steal our internet. They're trying to order porn and shit. So we're sorry about that. But really and truly, man, like, what do you foresee from our Knicks, like, in the next 5 years?
You know what?
Before we get off of basketball, but like, what do you foresee for that, man?
You know what? I hate when people ask me that question. For real? You know why? Because seriously, this is seriously. Like, when you look at the Knicks and what they've been going through and their fans and what you've been going through, I can't even project the next 5 days.
Oh, shit.
I don't even know what's going to happen. Listen, we seriously, like, as if you're looking at the Knicks, like, in all seriousness, you got to get to this offseason. You got to get to we don't have a first round draft pick. I just hurt him again. That hurt. Lost that. Lost that in the Bargnani trade. I won't even get started on that. You don't want me to go on that trade. You got to get to this offseason. It's really got to come down to what happens this offseason. Bring me back in the summer.
Yeah.
When the heat of the offseason.
I definitely will.
And let's talk about it then, because I really want to know. I'm serious. I really want to know if management is going to go to Melo and say, hey, look, what are we going to do here? Because what are you selling the fans on right now?
Or you think he should go to management and say, hey, look, now as you're the guy in New York, when we think of the Knicks, we see you, Melo.
Well, that's fine, because he's the one who holds the cards, right? He's got the no trade clause.
Yeah.
So it can go either way, but I think the meeting has to happen. I mean, do you care how it happens?
I'll take less money. You bring me. Let's work. If I see that from him, then I'll be like, okay, Melo's trying to.
But see, the problem is with the NBA the players are never going to renegotiate their deals for less money against a collective bargaining agreement.
Yeah, yeah,
it's not like the NFL where you can restructure.
You can restructure your. Yeah.
Unfortunately, that can happen. We've seen tons of people take money from teams. Eddie Curry.
Yeah.
Who else in the Knicks signed where they just stole money? Jared Jeffries.
Damn.
So I think
I forgot about that.
It really comes down. It comes down to two things. Either the Knicks have this real conversation on both sides, a real conversation where it's like, look, all right, Melo's like, look, I want to win. I want to go someplace else. Send me here. You can get this in return. Okay. Or the Knicks come and say the same thing, and they both sides agree to it. Now, if that Cleveland trade with Boston could come up again before the draft, I'd be all for it.
He'll fail in Cleveland.
Think so?
Yeah.
But it won't be on him. It's all on LeBron.
That's true.
It's always on LeBron.
And as a leader, I applaud LeBron James for that shit.
Now, here's the thing.
As a leader.
If Melo stays.
Yeah.
And say he's going to stay. All right. And here's what I say with the Knicks. You have to go out and get a point guard.
Yes.
Right. The point guard I would want if I was running things.
He's
nervous right now.
I'm nervous.
As a free agent, I think he would be a perfect fit for the Knicks.
Hold on. Who's the free agent right now, point guard?
There's a couple.
That'll be that he thinks is perfect for the Knicks.
What do you think I think?
Who you think would be perfect for the Knicks?
Right now?
Yeah. Is he on the West or East Coast?
He's on the West Coast.
I think I know who you're talking about.
I think on the West.
It's not a California team?
It is not a California team.
All right, so that's the wrong guy.
So I know who you were thinking about. Now, I wouldn't be opposed to him.
Who I'm talking about? Rondo. See? That's the fit I seen.
But wasn't Rondo supposed to go there a few years ago?
To the Knicks?
Yeah, wasn't the Knicks looking at Rondo at a point?
They were looking to trade for him.
They was looking at everybody.
Right. But here's the thing. Okay, so if the Knicks got Rondo, if I'm looking at a situation, would I be terribly unhappy with it? No.
No, I wouldn't.
Rondo can't shoot. We all know that.
He's a playmaker. A hell of a playmaker.
Now, Rondo had some comments a couple weeks ago saying he doesn't like the triangle offense, which I thought was interesting. But the guy I would like is Mike Conley.
Mike Conley is such
I think Mike Conley's
player.
Underrated. I think that he is on a team that's declining in age.
Absolutely.
And might be looking to get with a guy like KP that he can link himself to for the next 4 to 5 years, where he could have an opportunity to win. Conley, I think, is a fit. But here's the thing. It's not just about going and getting a point guard, guys. They also have to get a coach.
Right.
And if I am
Rambis ain't doing it.
Top of the Rambis is not cutting it. Rambis ain't. I don't think any Knicks fan wants to see Rambis.
They would prefer Herb Williams before Rambis.
I don't know if I'm gonna go that far. But you got to go get Tom Thibodeau. You got to.
I think that,
Tom Thibodeau has to be at the top.
I would go back and get Jeff Van Gundy.
Oh, but here's the thing.
Honestly,
Van Gundy and Dolan, they had a bad breakup.
Right.
Never coming back.
Right.
Never coming back.
He's not.
Would I like that?
Van Gundy was a hell of a coach.
Oh, but who was on Van Gundy's bench as an assistant?
Thibodeau.
There you go.
Right, Thibodeau.
Now, if you don't get Thibodeau, would you like Luke Walton?
Yo, Luke Walton, he's not.
I don't know.
He's not a bad.
You don't know what he is. You're saying you don't know what he is.
I don't know, and I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna say yes, but I have to gauge him out a little bit more. I don't know.
Mark Jackson.
Yeah,
Mark Jackson, absolutely.
But wait. You know what? You know what? I don't want him to bring that Golden State offense over here. I'm the East Coast. I like defense. I like that hard defense.
Right.
I mean, you know what? Mark Jackson is a player. He comes from the Knicks. He played Indiana.
Right.
So I think he probably would switch it up.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah. Bring Mark Jackson. Let's
You're fine with Mark Jackson.
I'm fine with Mark Jackson as a coach.
I think if you talk about those candidates, I'd be thrilled if they got Thibodeau.
Yeah.
Luke Walton, I'm kind of with you. You don't know, but I'm intrigued. I think he'd be a fresh young mind. He held it down while the difference between somebody like him and that's coming in that knows Jackson's system and he's played in triangle is that he's young.
Right.
And he'll be a little bit fresher. And I think he's a little bit more relatable to the players. That's something else you brought up as well, too.
Right.
Which I think is very important in anything in coaching
today. Why Steve Kerr is doing as good as he is.
And it's not necessarily as much your age, but you got to be relatable. You got to be able to talk to these guys who are multimillionaires who want to win and get them to buy into a system.
Right.
And I think if you can't do that, I think in any kind of leadership, you're lost today. You got to be able to do that.
So how do you think Phil Jackson is going to be able to talk to these new guys on the Knicks? Because, Phil Jackson, one thing I know about Phil Jackson, he comes to teams that, in my opinion, are already on their way.
Yeah.
Except with the Bulls, because he did have to do some work. But when he went with the Lakers, they was gift wrap that championship. If you think
but
about
the only
it.
thing is they hadn't got out the second round before he got there, and he did take him to the next level. So I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I completely get what you're saying.
Him and Pat Riley the same.
And I'm not saying that. I hate the argument that Phil Jackson's not a good coach. Not that you saying this because I've heard this from people that he went to the Lakers, he had Kobe and Shaq. I'm like, but they didn't win anything.
But they weren't winning before. Right, so you got to get these guys.
As much as I hated the Bulls growing up, I got to give credit where credit's due. What the jury is still out is how good of an executive can Phil Jackson be?
See, that's the thing.
Like
when Jay-Z was head of Def Jam. What can you? It's kind of
right. He struggled remember he struggled in the beginning, and you saw him he didn't really develop any artists, or nothing happened there. But now you look at what he's done with Rock Nation. He's got J. Cole under him. We've seen certain things like that. That's why I'm like, let's be a little bit patient with Phil.
It's a building process.
Yeah.
As a Knicks fan, how much patience do I have?
Well, listen,
I agree.
Phil Jackson's been here, 3 years now?
Yeah.
It's already been 3
years now.
Shit.
Right.
It's going on the 3rd season.
So it's going to be 3.
Damn.
But you know what? We live in a generation of instant. We need it now.
You're right.
We have 15-second videos up. We need this now. 140 characters. We need it now. We need a win now. Right. So we thought when we got Phil Jackson that first season, championship next year.
Which is ridiculous.
Put the banner up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I would like to believe, but we know that's not true.
Happening.
Right. It's not overnight, but it's like Phil Jackson. You come from 6 rings to 5 rings,
right?
And give us 1. You know what I mean? But that's what they thought.
The fan base is starved. The patience thing is the way I look at it is like, look, you've been waiting how many years? You said since 1987. 87. It's going to be 30 years next year, okay, that you've been waiting for a ring. I mean, what's 1 more year?
Nah, not 1 more. Maybe a couple more.
You know what that sounded like?
A couple more.
How long a woman been with a certain guy for 20 years? What's 1 more year? Waiting for a ring.
Waiting for that ring. Oh, man. Well, I just want to be clear. I'm not telling any ladies out there to do that.
But that's what it feels like.
I see that, though. I'm not telling any, because I'd probably, one of my homegirls or something, I'd be like, nah, don't do that.
But I just feel like something has to change. It's like when I saw Amari come in. First of all, I wasn't excited for Amari coming in.
Understood.
Wasn't?
I'm being totally, because I was looking at 3 years ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the doctors in Phoenix.
Right.
I was listening to sports radio one day, and the guy was like, one of the doctors was like, that guy really doesn't have long on that knee. I'm like, why would the Knicks give him all this money?
Yeah.
That's the part everybody saw. We getting a new guy. Yeah, it looks good on paper, but physicality, Amari Stoudemire broke down. He's a hoopty.
Damn.
He was painted up nice, real nice, and brought to you. Then I didn't have faith in it.
That has been something that
People
Knicks
called
have
me
been
a
doing.
hater. They're like, "Are you a hater?" I'm like, "How?"
That's something the Knicks been doing a lot in the past couple of years. Like players that are on their way out of the league, they just send them over.
Send them to the Knicks. I always said with Madison Square Garden is a graveyard.
Steve Francis, Penny Hardaway,
Yeah,
Stephon
Oh,
Marbury, all
man.
And it
of them.
hurts though,
They
bro.
just sent them over there. Like Knicks became the recycling team. That's exactly what they became.
I was happy when they got rid of Hardaway.
Hardaway Jr.?
Yes.
Oh, I love that trade.
I was happy because I said, Hardaway, you're not gonna prosper being
staying
on the
there.
Knicks.
I agree.
Get away. This building is bad luck.
I also just didn't think he was gonna play any defense. That was
You didn't
worth
think
it.
so?
Nah,
I think he was gonna get better.
nah. Didn't like. I was
You didn't
done
think
with
so?
him after last year. There's a couple people on the roster I'm done with too.
Damn.
Give me some names.
Throw some names.
Jose Calderon.
Ugh.
He was good for a second.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what is with him, and it's not that Calderon's a bad player. It's just his
Where's he from?
injuries. It's from
Argent?
Spain. He's from Spain.
Spain. Okay.
His injuries, and he's old, and he can't guard you or me.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm serious. Have you seen this guy? Like, he can't get over pick and roll. He can't guard. The way I'm feeling about him right now is how I felt about Felton a couple years ago. I couldn't wait I would have drove Felton to the airport to trade him, to get him out of here.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually like Felton.
I liked him
good
at
over
first,
there.
but when he came, I liked Felton. I thought he had a bulldog mentality, but when he came back the second time,
Yeah, the
and
first time I liked him. You're right.
And the second time, the first year he played good. The year they won 54 games. But
Yeah.
the year after that, he was a turnover machine. Remember, he came to camp out of shape. He was
Yeah.
like 25 pounds overweight.
No, I think it was the gun charge.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
it was a
the
drama
gun
that
charge.
messed with him. I give him that pass.
All
But
right.
you remember,
and he
everybody-
had some family issues. I can't.
Yeah, he did.
disrespect to that.
So it kind
That's
of,
true.
but that Denver team that basically came to the whole that the Knicks
Knicks.
just
Yep,
swapped,
pretty much.
where they had the Italian dude.
Gallinari.
Gallinari, Will
That was-
Chandler.
My
Will
head used to
Chandler.
hurt over that trade, bro.
What, the Melo trade?
I wanted Gallinari, bro. I liked him. When I saw that Denver team, I said, look at that team. I was like, I liked him. I wanted Melo to come to New York, but I was like,
he really
damn,
hasn't done anything either, though. Too.
he didn't do nothing.
No.
Yeah.
I
Nah,
like
that first season Gallinari went over there. He was killing. He was
And
killing.
he's been injured. He's had a lot of
Yeah, a
injuries.
lot of
That's what's hurt him.
injuries.
And
Yeah.
Chandler.
Yeah.
He's been injured a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chandler?
Chandler had hope
Yeah.
too.
Wilson Chandler was lost for the season earlier this year.
Yeah.
I liked both those players. But he's been injured, man.
Nah, let's leave New York. But I'm tired. I'm looking at, who's my man right now? Lillard.
Yo,
Oh,
Damian
man,
Lillard is
I
a
lo-
problem.
Why wasn't he on the All-Star team?
He got jerked. I
What happened
definitely
with
agree
that?
I'm trying to think who I would have replaced him with. I got to remember who was on the West roster, but I remember feeling that it was a bit tough because there's just so many guards in the West, man.
Yes.
I mean, but damn, come
Chris
on, man.
Paul, him.
I mean, and I feel
Steph.
like if you look at his numbers, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you
No,
off,
no,
bro.
you good.
But if you look at his numbers post All-Star break, he's been killing it.
Yeah.
And
50
I think
points against
yeah,
Golden State.
I think he really felt some kind of way about not being.
This is why he's showing his ass right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Because
No doubt
he
about
went
it.
off on the Warriors.
Yeah.
He gave them 51?
Yeah.
55, wasn't it?
51.
51?
53.
I was watching the game. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
This is a
He's
statement.
known for stuff like that, though.
No, but that
He-
50,
he's a-
he went off on that game.
That,
man.
let's just say that Portland, number one, I'm surprised at what they've done this year. They're like sitting sixth in the West.
Yes.
And
They
not
might be
just
number
After
one in the
losing
East.
Aldridge. After losing Aldridge.
They'll be number one in the East.
Right.
not just Lillard, but McCollum has been.
McCollum is
probably
coming.
getting
Yo, I was
most
watching him
improved.
ball a couple of days.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, he is going off.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Your
Nah,
team's-
they've really exceeded expectations.
Absolutely, I agree.
I think most people had them as a lottery team.
Yep.
So
I want to ask you, how you feel about Dwight Howard?
Bum. I'm sorry. I
You
didn't
know
even say
what?
anything. I think he's a
Nah.
bum.
Now, I'm gonna tell you my
you
opinion.
know
on
what?
him,
That's
but-
you know
I
what?
feel
You know
but-
how you stop and think about things. But
Yeah.
he said like the first thing that came in my head. Like I would maybe not bum. I'll
Uh-huh.
say disappointing, because I think Dwight
So
Howard.
much hope for him.
He comes across to me, and I don't know Dwight Howard. I'm sure he's a good dude, but I think that he comes across to me as somebody who just really he doesn't have that gaming instinct.
Yeah.
Like
Same
like
thing
you know how
Kobe
I talked
said.
about yeah, and I think Kobe's right. You know how Kobe's wired.
Yeah.
Soft.
Yeah, I think he's soft. I think that if you look at his game from remember 09 when he was in the finals against the Lakers
Finals.
Yeah.
and he was killing everybody thought Dwight Howard was the next great big man.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Oh, you can't say that you were wrong for thinking that.
I thought he would be that
Yeah.
dude in the league now.
Yeah, but you know what? He's regressed if you look at his game. Now he played decently last season when he wasn't hurt,
Yeah.
But this season, you're hearing the rumblings, him and Harden not getting along, and he wants out of Houston.
That's another
problem with him.
Every
Don't
city.
get along with stars. Like, I don't get that.
Yeah,
he had an opportunity in LA.
Yeah.
He had an opportunity.
Huge opportunity.
When he went there, I saw what he did. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, bro, are you serious? You're playing with the greatest player in the world right now.
I said
Like,
Kobe about to get number 6.
that's what I thought too.
He was too.
That's what I think. That's why Kobe has like a personal vendetta. He looks at him like, nigga, you caused me that 6 ring
Because he didn't work hard.
Exactly. He fucked up that whole situation.
He doesn't come across to me as somebody that is really gonna be working for it. He comes across a bit soft and too jokey a little bit.
Exactly.
That's my main thing. What are you laughing for? This is real shit out here.
I've seen this guy down 20 laughing on the bench.
Laughing.
Like,
what are you
doing?
laughing at?
What are you doing?
Kobe was ready to cry when he's losing.
Yeah,
Kobe will cry.
Yeah,
seriously.
for real.
I just got to keep it real. Like, that's how I like the players that I like. They got to have that
killer
I'm
mentality.
trying to be the best. I'm trying to kill you.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I love Westbrook.
Exactly.
Because Westbrook
is going at
Westbrook's always trying to kill you.
Yeah,
he's not taking any plays off. He doesn't like losing.
He's
He doesn't like losing to the Warriors the way that they've lost this year.
Mhm.
You best believe. I best believe if you see Westbrook in the playoffs against the Warriors, you know he's going at him.
Yeah.
You know he's going at Curry. He's
Yeah.
not. He's not admiring his shot.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not doing that.
Yeah, for
Come
real.
on. So yeah, I think Dwight Howard. I don't call him a bum.
Mhm.
A bum is like Andrea Bargnani. But I'm not gonna say that Dwight Howard. I think he's a little soft. I don't think he has that it to take it to the next level to be great.
Yeah.
That I'm concerned about him. I hope he finds it, but you got to start thinking he's a 30-year-old basketball player.
How long he been in the league?
No.
He came in 2004.
from high school, man.
He came in 2004,
So
right?
Maybe
technically,
he's 29. Maybe he's 29. He's got to be right around there.
I had hopes for this kid, man.
Yeah.
I saw him leading. I was like, yeah, he's gonna do it.
But some people, I think the one thing he learned, you saw with him in LA, is he realized he wasn't built for the big market.
Right.
He knew that he wasn't built for the big market. But Houston's the 6th largest market in this country.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I'm thinking about, do I think he's going to opt out this offseason? Absolutely. But what's the market for Dwight Howard? And I know you don't want to hear this, Colin. You don't want to hear.
He's not coming here.
The rumors will start about that. You will, I guarantee you, take it to the bank. Come June, you're going to hear Dwight Howard. I already saw an article like 2 weeks ago. Dwight Howard's interested in the Knicks.
All right. If you're scared of the 6th market, why would you come to the number one market?
You showed
you couldn't even do it in the number 2 market.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You were in Disney World first.
Because I think a little bit in Dwight Howard, what I see is I think that he likes attention to a degree, and I think he likes the chase and the courting of the free agency period, which I get.
No, a lot of players like that.
Courted.
They like to be courted. Like Melo said, remember last season he had the whole.
Yeah. I would love it if teams flew me in and took me to this restaurant.
Right,
we would do it for a job if people were sitting there and
absolutely
come here and have this offer and this on the
you
table. I love it.
That.
I'm not hating on anybody for that. Yeah. But I think you talk about the basketball aspect, when you get on the court, what's going on between your ears and what are you actually doing on the court? And we haven't seen Dwight Howard's game go to the next level.
You're right.
If anything, we've seen it regress, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
It's regressed.
Yeah, you're right.
We haven't seen it go to the next level.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about all these players, I have one of my boys that he dislikes LeBron, like strongly dislikes LeBron.
Why does he dislike LeBron?
He's always disliked. He says he just don't like some of LeBron's decisions. And me personally, I'm a big LeBron.
His basketball decisions or off the court decisions?
Off the court decisions.
Off the court decisions.
Yeah.
Okay.
He said he like as a man, he can't get with some of his decisions. So we've been talking lately, and he says he feel like LeBron is on his way out. How do you feel about that?
Of Cleveland?
As a ball player in general. Like he feel
like on the decline?
Yeah, he think LeBron's declining.
I mean, he's 31, so he's nearing the end of his peak. I'll definitely say that. I'm gonna say I've never been the biggest fan of LeBron's game, but I think he's a physical specimen, and he's one of probably the best talents we've ever seen in the league.
Absolutely,
that anybody's ever seen before. You've never seen somebody that big, that fast, that strong, be able to handle the ball that well. He's not the greatest shooter, but he's a brilliant passer.
Absolutely,
and he makes players around him better. As far as his off the court decisions, obviously the decision was a fail.
Absolutely,
we can all agree on that. That was
one of the worst spectacles in basketball history.
Yeah, and I
can't believe he did that.
I'm just mad he made me waste an hour of my life.
Me too. I'm
not mad that he did it. I'm just mad he made me wasted that hour.
Yeah. I feel like I was watching reality TV, and I was like, "This is what the game has come to." I hate to say sound like one of those old dudes, but it was just ridiculous to me. Mind you, I'm a fan of his, and I just felt like to do all that. I was like, "Bro, you're bugging."
Yeah, I think that was a poor decision. I'm never gonna get on him for leaving Miami to go back to Cleveland. I think it means something to him to win in Cleveland. However, what I will say about Cleveland and LeBron being there is the more and more I get this feeling I'm not sure he's going to win there.
I don't think he is either.
I don't think the Cavs are. I don't think they're the best constructed
Kyrie
team.
Irving ain't doing it.
Kyrie's not happy.
I like it.
I like him.
I like
Yes.
him, but he's not happy right now.
He's not going to give me 82 games. He doesn't have to give me 82, but the man's made out of tissue paper.
Well, listen, you got to talk about what's happened, right? And you got to react to that. So we haven't seen him play a whole 82 games. He missed pretty much a whole season in college when he was playing at Duke. And, I don't think that what Stephen A had reported, I think about 3 months ago, on First Take, he was saying that, Kyrie isn't 3 months ago, I meant 3 weeks ago.
Unhappy.
Is unhappy.
Yeah, I heard that.
I think there may be some truth to that. I think the team is not constructed. I don't think that team can beat the Warriors because of the way they're constructed.
Right.
I don't think Kevin Love was a good fit.
I said that from day one. I knew it wouldn't gel. It wouldn't gel.
It hasn't worked out, I think, the way it wanted. I think another mistake they've made was they spent too much. They spent money in poor ways. I don't know if I would have given the money to Tristan Thompson that they did this year. I thought they overspent there. Tristan Thompson is a good rebounder, but he doesn't bring anything much else to the table.
Right.
Beside that. So I don't really know what was going on there. So I'm a little concerned about Cleveland. I don't think they could beat the Warriors right now.
Absolutely
I don't
not. Absolutely
they
not.
could beat anybody in the East, but you know.
Yeah. The only team I see beating the Warriors, honestly, is the Spurs.
Me too.
That's
I'm
the
with you.
only team I see beating.
I'll give OKC a puncher's chance, but
exactly
they haven't closed games the way I like to see them do it.
Exactly.
And I don't think LeBron is going to be happy with just Eastern Conference championships. I don't think so.
Yo, you LeBron fans, y'all hear this, right? I just need you. I said this for years. 2 and 4? 2 and 4?
2 and 5?
2 and 4. 2 and 4 in the finals.
Damn. No, isn't it 2 and 5 now?
2 and 5.
2 and 5.
It might be 2 and 6.
You're absolutely right.
Listen, I don't want if LeBron just going to the finals to lose again. I don't want to see him. Let's see somebody else. Let's see somebody else lose.
Like who, Melo?
I'd rather see Melo lose than LeBron lose again.
You said lose, bro.
We being honest, right?
Listen, man. You can't even be talking about the finals with the Knicks. You got to get to the playoffs.
No, talk about the season.
Yeah, we're trying to not talk about winning 5 in your last 17 games.
You know what I felt for the past few years? You know what team let me down?
Who?
The LA Clippers. I was, on looking on paper, you would think this team would have at least 2 rings by now.
You think so?
Yeah, but the Clippers were.
They have a great. I agree. They have a great team. They have a good team.
I look at that team. I'm like, damn, this team is
from starting to bench.
They can beat a lot of people.
Yeah, from starting to bench, they have a really good team. Right. I agree.
Yeah,
Chris Paul is not doing it for me, bro. He's not that point guard I want in my finals. I think he's a
good. Really?
And I hope no. You know what? Let me rephrase that. I think with the team that he has, he's not going to go to the finals because Blake Griffin, all that flashy dunking on your head. Blake Griffin is going to retire ringless.
Yeah.
That it's something else missing from his game to me. I couldn't pinpoint it. I'm like,
I'm with you. You know what you got to make? You need to do like a ringless list.
Yeah, I have my list because he's from that class.
Like the ringless.
That. Hold on. So if you had to give me your 5 ringless right now,
Paul, Melo, Blake Griffin, who else? Dwight Howard. No, not Dwight Howard. He's too soft for me.
So he just doesn't make the list because he's soft.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you play hard, you mean an all-time 5 ringless? Or
no, you're just talking about now who you think is not going to win a list. Not going to win a ring.
Who won't win a ring?
Oh, I thought that's what you were saying.
Who won't Melo? Win a ring? Melo's number 1 draft pick, first pick, number 1. David Stern picked him first. Carmelo Anthony from Ringless College. Him, Chris Paul. He's not getting a ring. I got to see who leaves OKC first.
Not to cut you off. Yeah. I see Chris Paul getting a ring on some Gary Payton shit.
If you look at it like that.
Yeah. I see
like going to the Heat and picking up a dirty ring.
Yeah.
On some Alonzo Mourning bullshit, right?
Dirty ring.
On that Alonzo Mourning bullshit, right? Carmelo tried to do that on the Lakers too.
A dirty ring, bro.
And I was so happy. No, hold on. This goes back.
A dirty ring. I love it.
My number 1, top of my list, the king
of the dirty
who
ring.
never got a ring, who's the Lord.
Charles Barkley.
Yeah,
I knew it.
My dude, I hate Charles Barkley.
You hate him?
I never liked Charles Barkley.
He calls him a coon. He thinks he's a coon.
Charles Barkley. I've hated him from he went to Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Auburn, excuse me.
He went to Auburn.
Yeah.
Then he went to Philly.
Yeah.
Then he went
Suns.
To Suns.
Suns, then Houston.
Then Houston, yeah.
When John Stockton hit that 3-pointer in the 97 Western Conference,
he was not happy.
Look at Charles Barkley's reaction. It was slow motion. I seen Stockton. I never forget. Who was the announcer? It wasn't Marv Albert. All I heard was Stockton open 3. I saw Charles Barkley go like this. I said, yes. Career done. When they showed him backstage, he was by the locker like this. I heard Ahmad Rashad say something. Charles Barkley wanted to cry. He was like, I looked at him. I said, done.
It was over.
Ringless. Get him out of here.
It was over for that.
Man tried to go to Houston with Elijah Wan, try to get a cheap ring. Like, get out of here. I was happy for Drexler. Drexler got his ring. He deserved it.
Right.
Played hard his whole career.
Mm-hmm.
Get that ring.
Yeah.
He went to Houston, ended. He went to college in Houston, finished in Houston.
Right.
Charles Barkley tried to go to Houston and
The
get a
cheap
ring. Because he was like, damn, the Rockets the only contender right now.
He went there with Pippen, right? He was there with Pippen.
Pippen was there too.
Pippen was there
That's
too.
why I was happy too.
Yeah.
Pippen went to the Blazers after or before.
It was after he went to Blazers after.
And that Blazers team remind me of the Clippers. They had Pippen, Brian Williams, Detlef Schrempf,
Bonzi Wells,
Damon Stoudemire. You had the team.
Yeah, but they should have won that game 7 in 2000.
I think they got jobbed though.
18-point lead.
They got jobbed.
I remember that one.
Wasn't it part of that? The whole
I think they got jobbed. I think that was the
that...
Sacramento series.
Yeah.
They got jobbed. The Blazers got jobbed there. If I remember, I was like,
you know what?
Wait, it went to 7, right?
No, it went to 7. It was game 7. They were up 18, started 4th, and they blew that. See, my man over there knows. He remembers. I felt the pain for them. I was like, and that the lob from Kobe to Shaq.
Yeah. Oh, he was like this.
Yeah.
Oh, that one Kobe had the
signature, man.
Oh, that was classic. Yeah. My Bryant jersey was lit that year.
But I will say that I agree with you. I've been saying this about the Clippers for a while too.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge Chris Paul fan.
Yeah.
Huge Chris Paul fan.
Chris Paul, bro.
But I don't think his supporting cast is good enough.
They're not doing it for him, bro.
It's not, and this is not Chris Paul's a leader. Let's be clear about
that's why
that.
I take that back as far as him as being a point guard.
No,
Yeah,
absolutely.
He's a good point guard.
But here's my who I have a bigger problem with on the Clippers than Blake Griffin, although I agree with you 100% on Blake Griffin. DeAndre Jordan. I cannot have a guy out there that late in the game can't hit a free throw.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not having that.
Right.
Listen, I'm not having you can't even Doc can't play him in certain situations.
Yeah, right.
He literally can't play him in the fourth quarter.
True. And he's a factor for the fourth. I mean, you need that body.
He's a body, he's athletic, he's great in the pick and roll, but he can't hit a free throw.
And they're gonna foul him.
Yeah. He's a liability. I'm paying somebody that much to be a liability.
You're right.
Come on.
So would Dwight Howard be a good fit for the Clippers?
Ooh.
But he can't hit free throws though.
Either.
He's a little bit better than DeAndre.
He's a little bit better offensively.
But I mean, you know what? Honestly, I prefer DeAndre's athleticism over Dwight Howard's. But come crunch time, I would probably want Dwight Howard in there, mixing it up a little bit more.
Yeah, because Dwight Howard, he actually had a really good series. Remember that series? Not last playoffs, the playoffs before, where they played Portland in the first round, and Lillard hit the 3 to win
and beat them. I was happy for that against Houston.
That shot was so beautiful.
One of the things people forget is Dwight Howard played beautifully in that series.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen him play that good. He was balling in that series. But where have we seen that? We haven't seen that since.
Why can't he? What does he need motivation or something? You think, or does he need? All right, being that you spoke about the rumors of him coming to New York, does he need a Zen master in his head? You think some of that filled?
If I would, as a Knicks fan, and I think other Knicks fans like yourself, I want no part of him.
Right, I feel you, because you see, Phil Jackson got rid of J.R. Nigger Smith as soon as he showed up.
But you know what you also got to worry about with Dwight Howard, like being serious about it, is like, he's also got like all these rumors and stuff about him. He's got like 5 different baby mamas, and he's out enjoying the life. You can't put him here in New York with that.
There's
too many women for him here in New York.
All these thoughts, these bottle chicks. He's gonna be up in Starlets every weekend.
Yeah, you can't have that.
He's a bum.
But that's what J.R. Nigger Smith was doing. I seen him in many parties.
He was out there in many parties.
He blocked me on Twitter. Shout out to J.R. Smith.
Damn,
I gotta check if he unblocked me though.
Were you trolling him though?
Hard. I was retweeting that picture when he was smoking weed that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was the one who put that picture.
Oh yeah.
I saw block. I tried. J.R. Smith blocked you from South. Like, you a celebrity. Your page can't be proud. I was like, he blocked me.
Yep.
My brother was like, he didn't block me though. I was like, Cause I be hitting him. I'm like, yo, JR, it's Gatorade in there, not Henny. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need you to play, bro.
Trolling him, man.
Because my thing, you have this is what I understand. Like, I think a guy like Jay-Z is necessary, especially with Rock Nation Sports, what he does with the players.
Yep.
He's teaching them, like, listen, look, not just money management. Like, all right, look, you're in a big market right now, bro. Yep. We don't want you to scout, mess up all this money. And, I've heard other players like Victor Cruz, he's down Rock Nation.
Yep.
They show these guys, like, look, don't mess up your bread. Put this here. Put this here. You could do all this fly shit when you retire.
Word.
Right now it's about playing.
Right.
Stay focused.
Right.
I think if J.R. Nigger Smith had some of that, sometimes you need that. Yo, come here, let me talk. That's why they need these mentors in the NBA.
Right.
I think Phil Jackson would be somebody I would like to talk to. Throw some books at me. We'll go meditate in the back room, and you need some of that. He suspended. What's his name? I hated him. Bynum.
Andrew Bynum.
Oh, I hated him. Huh. I remember Phil Jackson suspended him for being late to a game. I mean, he was a rookie, but still, that's why Kobe takes a helicopter to the Staples Center. That LA traffic is ridiculous. But you need things like that.
Right.
Will keep you, you know what I mean? Like, he suspended him. He came to him and said, yo, you're not playing today.
Yeah, I think we don't have enough of that in sports.
Especially tough love.
Yeah, but you got to think about it. There's a lot of young black men coming out into the world of sports that come from places like we come from, where there's not a lot of money, and they get here and they have all this money, and there's no guidance or team to help them to do that. So, like you said, when people like Jay-Z and Rock Nation are doing that,
I think the NBA valuable. For one is responsible, because
I agree with you on
athletes
that.
In general.
I agree with you on that. Black, white, whoever. You're responsible for that. I agree with you on that. And I think they have been trying to, they've had all these programs and stuff trying to tell people what to do, and if you get in trouble, who to call, and you shouldn't be drinking and driving, all this stuff that you should know to do. But things come at some of these guys so
they
fast.
They come with this nigger mentality. I'm like, yo, listen, dude, look. Remember Carmelo is, of course, Melo's doing the stop snitching thing. I'm looking at Melo, you idiot.
Oh, he's on the Smack DVDs?
Yeah, with the long t-shirt and the long chain.
Old.
I'm like, Carmelo, my God. I'm watching it back then. I'm like, we're from the same place, like you said.
Yep.
But I know better. I learned from the MC Hammers, the Antoine Walkers. I'm like, I'm not losing my bread.
You know what? But see, the thing you mentioned there, that's what's crazy, right? You would think some of these dudes have seen other guys fall, right?
From other guys.
Yeah, right. So you would see that the Broke documentary that ESPN did a couple of years ago. You've seen all these guys blow millions, and you're still doing the same thing. But I get, sometimes it's tough. But sometimes, as you're rising up, you got to separate yourself. Not really separate from the people. You don't want to separate yourself from the people you came up with and say, "Oh, I'm over here," like you're acting like you're better. But you
applaud LeBron James.
It's all mental.
But listen, look at what LeBron has done with his crew of guys.
Made them into businessmen.
Ding, ding,
you
ding,
run
ding,
my
ding.
career. We're managed. You open some stores.
Right.
We're gonna start a show.
Right. We're doing it legit.
Genius.
We're doing it the right way, and we're also helping other people from our community.
Exactly.
Come up. Right.
I think KD does that as well, right?
I'm all for that.
And I'm for that. I said, you know what? Instead of me, separating myself, listen, guys, look, let's get jobs. You're going to do marketing for me.
Yep.
Matter of fact, here's some money. You're going to go to school, learn marketing. Because when you come out, you're going to be my agent. And a lot of people don't like that. But you ever notice what I noticed in the league? All these guys have the same agent. And these guys end up broke in the end. And I'm like.
Because those agents don't have the best interest in mind.
To me, it's and I'm not saying, don't sue me, NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, but I think you guys have this set up to give the money right back because the niggas are going to go buy chains. So the agents are not going to say, whoa, don't do that. You're supposed to say that. If I was an agent and I got a guy who has $100 million, I have the players' best interest for their future in my heart.
But not to cut you off.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was reading something. One of my boys sent it to me in the chat the other day. It was talking about Kawhi Leonard. He still takes the bus.
He drives a 97 Suburban.
And he still takes the bus. What is he getting? 93 million?
Yeah.
He's getting 93 million, right?
Contract.
For 93 million. He's still taking the bus and he's driving a 96 car.
As he should.
I respect that.
I agree, but I think
I
think one of the things that we, it's not just in sports, but in other things that we have to do in our community is teach our young people about being financially responsible.
Yes.
I think that's really important, and that's something we don't have enough of in our community, and we need to, and because that's where you have these things where guys are just coming out like, I gotta buy a chain, and you're not even situated. I get it. You come out, you want to buy your mom a house,
yeah,
of course. You know what I mean? Like I would do the same thing too, but you also want to set yourself up for the future,
right?
And not just constantly do ignorant stuff over and over and over again,
right?
And you know what? I just want to respond to something Colin said, because Colin talked about the agents and, you know, them not having the best interests of the players in mind. And I agree with that. And I think that a lot of those agents are like, yo, look, I'm getting my 10%, my 15% or whatever, but you're not really creating a culture or environment where people should want to come back, could lean on you, look for you for advice. And they're just taking advantage of, you know, some of these young black men. Right. And I just think that, you know, I hope that for young black men listening out there could be potential athletes. And I've talked to young men who were in high school, who have chances to go to college, and I've told them about the importance of keeping it close, keeping your family in mind, not being with the right crowd. I've covered players like that, I've gone to the NBA, like Lance Stevenson, Isaiah Whitehead, who's now on that track to go there from Brooklyn.
From Brooklyn.
Yeah, so I think you have to keep your head on straight, because you can get caught up in the wrong things real quick, especially with your money.
And especially in a big city like this.
Yeah, and you got to remember, this money that you're making, just all of us in whatever we do, anything could change like this. We don't know what tomorrow brings.
Right.
You know what I mean? Your career is not forever. You know, you have to enjoy the moment, enjoy life, but yo, you got to plan a little bit
be
too.
Smart.
Yeah, be smart about it too.
I want to go over a little bit to the NFL. I have a question.
I haven't taught some football in a while.
And it's just, I mean, of course, we know racism, of course.
Yeah.
Just anywhere. But I just think with the whole Peyton Manning thing that was happening in the season, I just felt it would have been magnified if it were Cam Newton.
I agree with that.
And I'm sitting there, and did you hear the other day about what's the tennis girl named Maria
Sharapova?
The whole
I got some thoughts
drug
on that.
thing.
Yep.
And I was just like, wow, this is amazing. Like, if this was Serena, this would be on the cover of the New York Times.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
I don't know if you had seen, but when shortly after the Super Bowl and everything that went on with Cam Newton on Facebook, I had pretty much put out a comment about the double standard in the media. And I please remember that I work in the media, but that doesn't mean that I don't see the hypocrisy that exists in the media or the double standards that exist, especially when it comes to black athletes playing certain positions in certain sports.
Right.
I think Cam Newton has been ridiculously targeted, unfairly targeted.
Yeah.
People have criticized him for smiling too much. People have criticized him for being too happy. People have criticized him for handing footballs to kids. People criticized him. There was a criticism because he and his fiance had a baby, and somebody wrote a letter. Like, somebody really did this. They wrote a letter and said he's not a good role model because he had a child out of a wedlock. I mean, there are parents who are married and they're horrible parents.
What's the quarterback?
Yeah.
Sorry, what's the quarterback from the Bears who's been doing recklessness and?
Oh, Jay Cutler?
Yeah. No, I'm bugging. What's the Bengals?
Quarterback Dalton? Not Andy Dalton. Oh, you talking about Steelers? Ben Roethlisberger?
No. Oh, not the alleged rapist? No.
Yeah. Oh, but nobody talks about that guy.
Manziel.
Oh, Johnny Manziel from Cleveland?
The alleged cokehead.
Let's take that for a second.
But nobody talks about him.
Let's take that for a second. Johnny Manziel, allegedly, but there was police reports that he abused his girlfriend, physically abused his girlfriend, which is worse than
it was Victor Cruz would be over.
Than anything that Cam Newton. You've never seen a bad headline about this man, but people went crazy when Cam Newton walked out of the Super Bowl press conference. And what I tried to bring light to on Facebook, because I don't comment a lot on really a lot of political issues like that, but it was just I saw all these people posting, Cam Newton has no behavior. Cam Newton doesn't know how to act. And I'm like, wait a minute. Where's your outrage for Johnny Manziel? Where's your outrage for Tom Brady?
Payne walked out. But Payne walked out.
Where's your outrage for Peyton Manning with his alleged sexual assault case going back from
and
Tennessee?
Nobody's talking about it.
Swept under the rug.
Right.
So when I see the bias where a black quarterback is treated this certain way by the media, but it's not by the others, and I had friends in the media messaging me and like, oh, it's not like this. And I'm like, come on, man. You got to open your eyes. But you know what it is? It comes down to privilege, man. When you have a certain level of privilege and you don't have to deal what it's like, you can't tell me what it's like to be a black man in America if you don't know what that's like.
All right.
So I've dealt with racism in journalism.
I can
you know
imagine.
what I mean? Some of these athletes, what I see Cam going through.
Cam Newton comes from a good home.
Yeah.
You see him with his father.
Yep.
A lot.
Yeah.
He gives the footballs to the kids.
Yeah.
He gets fined, but people don't know that.
Still do it.
And they don't talk about it.
They don't talk about that.
He likes the kids. He's, you know what I mean? He's never in trouble.
Right.
Nope.
So that one time, I've seen other quarterbacks walk out of games.
Yeah, absolutely. No, but he's a nigger. That's different.
You know what? I think that who said this? Richard Sherman.
Yeah.
I said that a couple years ago. I love Richard Sherman, a lot of stuff he said, and he was saying that, you know, when everybody was calling him a thug, because of the outbursts he had when the team went to the championship, when they beat the Niners in that NFC Championship game, and called him a thug, and he said that was one step away from, you know, white America. I think I don't want to misquote him, but he said thug was coded language for white America calling him a nigga.
Yeah. That's what it was.
And
of course, that's what it was.
Sarah Palin said it the other night.
Yeah, she did. I saw in a response.
That's what she meant to say. Yeah.
And I feel that the problem that we're seeing in the media and a lot of people not calling it out is this coded language.
Absolutely.
Where it's like, look, we know what you want to say, but you're not saying it. And you're saying this person should act this way. And I feel like there's rules that exist for quarterbacks like Cam Newton, but there's not rules that exist for Peyton Manning. And this is a true story I said to somebody. I was at Super Bowl 49. I wasn't at Super Bowl 50s yet. That's Super Bowl 49. And I watched as I'm blanking, the head coach of the Seahawks right now, Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll, after the Super Bowl, they lost on this stupid decision that he made to throw the ball there.
They did that on purpose, by the way.
He lost this. He was short with the media and cut his media session, and nobody said anything about
Absolutely
that.
not.
But Cam Newton?
He's not allowed to be upset that you lost?
Right. I'm not saying, this is what, I want to be clear on this. I'm not saying that Cam Newton handled it the way that I would have. I'm not saying that he should not have sat there and answered the questions. What I'm saying is I understand that he's upset.
Right.
And what I'm saying is I see the double standard and hypocrisy.
Well, you say give it to them, everybody across the board.
Right.
Then.
Be fair with it. If you're going to criticize one, if you're going to criticize Cam Newton, well, I didn't see this outrage on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook for Pete Carroll. I didn't see it. Did you see it? Because I didn't see it.
I didn't see a word.
It didn't exist at all. So let's be real about it and let's do it. And I think it bothers me when I see other people in the media not act like this isn't real. Like there's media bias. It exists. It's real.
Absolutely.
And a lot of that media bias is based on privilege that exists. And we don't want to talk about it. Or people maybe sometimes afraid to talk about it. But I'm going to say it. I'm a black journalist in America. Yeah. I'm going to say it. Like I understand that and I see the bias and other people have to say it. It's ridiculous.
So what do you think about Stephen A. Smith? What was his recent comments?
Which one?
He said racism doesn't exist.
Did he say that?
I didn't.
You didn't see that? He was talking
either.
to high school kids or college?
Oh, you know what's funny? I felt like I saw that headline, but I didn't click on it. Sometimes I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I see stuff and I'm just like,
you're not gonna entertain it.
Sometimes I say it and I'm just like, you know what? Let me just play it. Let me just hear it.
I can't.
Yeah.
Like
he said racism doesn't exist.
Is there any more context to that?
It's more. It's more. That's why I thought you knew of the full story.
Yeah.
I saw like a little clip. I wanted to see the whole thing.
Right.
But I wanted to see your take on it first.
I mean, like if somebody straight out says racism doesn't exist.
Hold on.
Yeah, if you find that, please, if you could read me a quote. Somebody blank out. Well, I'll respond to just that part of the quote.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be like, you're ridiculous.
A black man at that.
At least I'm at least shocked at that from a black. And I'm going to say this as somebody who likes Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah.
And Stephen A. Smith has given me good advice in my career and has been very helpful.
Yeah.
Stephen Smith is a great guy. I think sometimes people look at the persona of what they see of him on First Take or TV,
right,
and don't know he actually. This is really true, and this is the first time I'm actually saying this publicly. I've said this to friends. My first job I had out of college, I was working for a newspaper, and I got laid off, which is a whole nother long story. But I think it's basically because this editor who worked there didn't like me, who was not black. And I was kind of rising up, and he just basically fired me for no reason. And after that, I had met Stephen A. When I was in college, and I also went to a taping of his Quite Frankly show, and he remembered me. And he told me, say, hey, if you ever need anything, to email me and let me know. And I emailed him talking to him about this tough time. I just got fired. What do I do next? And he gave me some really good advice about being a black journalist and sticking the course and working hard. And, one thing he told me was take advantage of any opportunity you can get. Some of the best advice I ever got in the industry, just take advantage of any opportunity that comes your way. So he's a great dude and has been a, good mentor, but I'm a little bit shocked to hear that comment. I'd like to know more of the context of it. But as a black man in America, I don't understand how you could say that quote of that word, racism doesn't exist. That to me is just like, we feel it every day.
Exactly.
I don't care what industry you work in, what you do, you feel it. I'm not saying that everybody out there is racist, but what I'm saying is that you feel the effects of racism and white privilege that does exist. I think athletes feel it. I think regular everyday civilians feel it. I think journalists feel it. I think photographers feel it. I think everybody who's black understands that, you know, in this context.
It's crazy that he said photographers, because me and Kelsey actually had a conversation about that recently. I'm like, I see it on Instagram as well. The love that not taken away from anyone. I love all photographers, but the love that white photographers get on Instagram, black photographers don't get that. You do not get the same love as them.
Yeah. And I mean, you know what? There's so much in that, especially in photography. Yeah. And I have 2 friends of mine who are really good photographers.
Yeah.
And it's funny because my 2 friends that do it, obviously they're black, but they do great portraits and work of like beautiful black men and women.
Right.
And I'm always happy to see those images because you don't see those images a lot in the media.
You don't.
And I think that it's not in the mainstream media, and we don't see our brothers and sisters uplifted in a positive light. So when you can see that, to me, it's beautiful.
Absolutely.
But I think it doesn't get the same love because that has never been the standard of beauty.
Yes, exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So because that exists, and we're constantly still fighting against that, you know, that's why it still exists. I don't think what I hate that's done a lot now is when somebody makes a statement like you did, people, especially if you're African American, black, or many minority, people try to discount it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that's not real.
Yeah.
Well, like you don't understand the black experience, or you don't understand the minority experience to sit there and say that, you know, what you just said isn't true.
Exactly. You can't tell me what I go through if you're not in my shoes to go through it.
Yeah.
I always say that to people.
I think it's wrong when the people who benefit from oppression are telling other people how they should feel about oppression.
Exactly.
Like that's
quote of the night.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like how can you possibly do that? It's like people telling me about what I said about Cam Newton and the difference in the media. As somebody who works in the media and is black,
right?
You're telling me like, nah, it's not like that. It's not about race. Okay. All right.
Nah, but we're going back to Stephen A. Smith, right?
Yeah.
But what he said a couple months ago, with the whole rape, I was kind of mad at him. It was something I don't remember exactly. Was it something with rape and he had to apologize for saying something?
Yeah, I wish I remember what I could say is I don't remember his exact comment, but I remember knowing when he said it, I was like, he was dead wrong about that.
I don't know though. I wasn't, you know why I was mad at him? For apologizing.
There's things I think he's been unapologetic about.
Because I wouldn't apologize for that because I saw what he was saying though. When when I saw it in print and I read it, I was like,
I think he probably, if I remember correctly,
I got it, but it came out wrong.
I think it's one of those things that came out wrong as well too. Yeah. And I think sometimes you need to all think about what we're saying more before we say it and be careful. But you know, some things you're gonna get blowback on. Somebody might listen to this podcast and be like, "Oh, well, I don't think Cam Newton is targeting unfairly because his race." I'm not apologizing for that.
Yeah,
I won't.
You're right. But but you know what? Stephen A. Smith is on a higher market than me right now. He's on ESPN. Disney owns it, so you can't have that type of talk. So
you can't hide from anything like that, right? So like the microscope is under him all the time. That's something I don't even know what that feels like. But it must be tough because everything he says is scrutinized. Or
it's coming for you.
The one thing I feel like that happens with him is sometimes I think people act like he speaks for the entire black community, and that's not fair. You know, I don't think that's necessarily fair. He doesn't represent all of our thoughts.
Right. I was not to cut you off, but like it's funny that you mentioned that because I feel like in a lot of different things with entertainment, they choose that one black person, and they feel like that one black person speaks for all black people.
But the reason I think that exists is because of the lack of diversity of voices in the media space.
Agreed.
So because there aren't, you know, we need more About Nothing podcasts for people out there listening. If you want to start your own, you should be listening to this one. But I'm just saying we need more voices. We need more people doing things to create voices in media. So it doesn't look like, oh man, we have to look to this one person. Right. There's so much we could do today in creating our own voice than ever before. We don't have to wait for anybody to give us the opportunity.
The black voice is powerful.
Yeah, you got to create it. And so like I think the stuff like I said early in the podcast, the stuff like you guys are doing, or I do with Backpack Broadcasting, or just the people that are listening right now, watching this podcast, you know, I think that's very powerful. Right. It's very, very powerful because it builds a community, it spreads, and you never know where things can go from there. And it doesn't matter if you're at the level of ESPN. If you're reaching the people you need to reach,
absolutely,
that's all that matters, man. Like you don't have to have. I think we get caught up in numbers too much.
Yes,
you know, whatever you guys started here, you're reaching the people you need to reach. You know, and that's a beautiful thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think sometimes we're just so concerned about blowing up or making it, whatever that means.
Thanks social media for that.
Yeah.
Somebody got a question for you.
Yeah.
From Michael. He said, are the Warriors a lock for the finals?
Oh, nothing's a lock.
Yeah.
But I feel if you put a gun to my head, I'm like, yeah. I think the Warriors are going there. I see my man shaking his head in the corner right here. Here's what I'll say. You know what I want to say?
Yeah.
And I think I said this early in the podcast too, is that ask me that question in a week. I really would like to see what the Spurs do when they play them next Saturday after the Warriors play them on the road in San Antonio after playing Dallas the night before.
They're about to give San Antonio their first home loss.
You think so?
I'm giving it to
You're not giving San Antonio a shot?
I love San Antonio, but it's going to be a close game, but I see the Warriors taking it.
You know why I can't even say it's going to be a close game after what I saw them do to San Antonio the last game?
True, but they did, but I think, you know, they home now.
Yeah.
And coming off of that road game with Dallas.
Yeah.
So it's like they're going to be tired.
Right.
You're playing the Spurs, B. They set that up lovely for Golden State, by the way. But
No. The Warriors played Dallas the night before.
Yeah, they played them the night before. Then they play the Spurs.
They play the Spurs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
they playing on the
so you think they'll be angry off of being tired?
I think they're gonna beat them though, but it's gonna be close though.
But see, to me, it's not whether if the Spurs win that game, it's how they play in that game. The first game they looked so overmatched. I remember I was all hyped for that game, and then I just turned it off and went to bed.
It was a beating.
But the Spurs looked slow in that game, but I will never count out a Popovich coach team.
I never count out.
So I understand that. I understand why he's so quick to shake his head and be like, nah, not yet. But I just think that the Warriors look so good in that right now, man. But you know what's funny? The Spurs have what, 10 losses?
They're right behind them.
They're right behind them. They don't even really they're like an afterthought.
Because they're like.
Do we realize that
they play basic basketball?
If the Warriors didn't have the record they had right now, everybody would be talking about the Spurs.
No, they wouldn't. They still wouldn't.
You don't think so?
It's the Spurs. They're not. No. And this is not taken away from San Antonio.
Because this model of consistency.
Because if you go to San Antonio itself, the city's a quiet city.
Yeah,
it's not a live city. People don't go there for spring break. You know what I mean? People go out to San Fran, they're partying, they're drinking. It's Cali.
Yeah. Right.
They're young. They smoking the legalized weed.
Yes, they are out there.
San Antonio is a laid back retirement city.
Yes.
You have the Alamo. Look at Tim Duncan is what San Antonio is.
I agree with that.
He's a quiet guy. He likes to swim. The players are representation of the people. They play simple basketball.
Organized.
It works.
No, it works. That's San Antonio.
I'm not knocking him.
Tim Duncan is the greatest power forward ever.
It's been working for all these years. It's been working for all these years.
Best power forward ever.
Agreed. No question.
And if it takes for you, I think players should look at that. If it takes for you to play that kind of basketball, and I say that, you call it boring, whatever.
Right.
It's basic, but it gets those W's.
And he still puts up numbers.
And you're putting up numbers, fine. But it gets Popovich gets those W's. Popovich is top 3.
Absolutely. I think
easily.
I think he's right there behind Phil.
I agree.
I think he's right there.
And if you ask some people, they'll put him ahead of Phil.
Ahead of Phil, exactly.
They actually would because of how long the consistency with that
one team.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing what he's done.
Yeah.
You know,
I would be like, yes, I like the Warriors, but I'm not going to discount the Spurs. I'm not going to discount the Spurs.
So, and he said
they got more than a fighter's chance. Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on. This is what I meant to ask you about the Warriors. Do you think the Warriors are going to beat that Chicago record?
Yeah, I think.
I think so.
I think they're gonna
beat it.
Yeah,
I do.
Well, it'll be close though.
They're gonna tie it.
Here's what's key: they have 3 games left with the Spurs, and that's what's gonna be key. The Spurs are gonna have a huge say in that because let's say the Spurs take 2 out of those 3 games.
Yeah.
Well, then now they're at 8. That would at least be 8 losses, right?
The Bulls are at 6 at this time. The Bulls
are
at 6 or 7 at this time.
They're 7.
So,
7 at this time.
The Spurs, the Warriors are still 2 better right now.
It's going to be intriguing to see if they have 8 or 9 losses.
And
you're coming down to the final 5-6 games of the season, how they play with that pressure. Because that's when the pressure's on you then.
Yeah.
Now, I think they're going to go for it, and they should. I think it's great. I hope we see that.
I hope they pass it because I'm talking shit. I'm talking somebody who never won, right? But I'm talking shit, especially to the older fans.
Yeah.
That's the only people I'm like, what happened now? Y'all quiet.
Yeah.
They're gonna have every excuse in the book.
I'm not gonna. I don't want them to beat.
No, not
I'm not
you.
gonna lie.
I'm just saying.
I'm not. But I'm gonna.
I want them to.
If they beat it,
though, broken.
if they beat it, I gotta give credit where credit is due.
That's fair.
a crazy record,
I respect
bro.
that.
Steph Curry, go ahead.
That's
you got
a crazy record.
Yeah, I want to see him do it. No.
I don't want to see him.
You got to remember the people that are saying no
are the
former Bulls fans.
Yeah.
No, Cake is the former Bulls fan. He's still a Bulls fan.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. You know what? I apologize, my man. Because you know what? I still respect that you're still a Bulls fan. Didn't left. I kind of lost some respect.
But I was so honest, man.
Somebody asks if same cat, if LeBron doesn't win a ring in Cleveland, how will it impact his legacy?
I think it does. I don't think it takes away from the fact that he's a great player and one of the greatest of all time, but I think it will be a blemish on him that he was there. I think people will not judge him for his early years in Cleveland where he didn't win. He had nothing around him.
Right.
But you did all this, and you did this maneuvering, and you got all these guys around you. Now, that's a totally different story from whether or not they're good fits, which I think we all agree that there aren't some good fits on that team. But I think it does hurt his legacy a little bit, especially if he keeps like getting to the finals and losing. Would it shock anybody? Would it shock anybody if he has like a Buffalo Bills run here and he gets to like 4 finals in a row and like loses?
Damn.
Which like
shout out to the Bills, Chris. I hope you listening.
They stopped. They used to.
And my man Nesta, who went to Barton too. He's a big Bills fan.
Dred?
Yeah, Dred.
Yo, shout out to Dred. He was in Japan. He's in Japan, Australia right now.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
He's a Bills fan?
Oh, he's a huge Bills fan, man.
Oh, I got to get on him too.
Yeah, we go at it. My
man Chris is a Bills fan.
He's a big Bills fan.
I say, yo, Jim Kelly. I said,
but you know what's messed up about the Bills? And I made that reference and I was like, damn, it's kind of messed up. I said that. People don't realize like that was a great accomplishment. Like they got to winning is not easy. To get to the Super Bowl is not easy.
In the NFL?
Yeah.
Which we'll never see again in the era of the salary cap. We'll never see that again. We'll never see that again. Like we saw the Seahawks go to 2, and it's hard to get. You lose too many players too quickly.
Did Iron Curtain when they won? How many did they win back then?
4.
But it wasn't back.
Talking about the Steel Curtain.
Yeah, the Steel Curtain. It wasn't back to back though. When Bradshaw.
So.
It wasn't 4 back.
They didn't win 4 straight. No, but they won 4 Super Bowls in the 70s. But I don't think it was 4 straight. I could be wrong.
How many straight though?
I don't remember if they won any back to back.
Nah, but that was amazing though. That run they had.
That's a great run.
That was amazing.
I don't know if we'll see stuff like that. But like LeBron, back to that, I think his legacy does take a hit in the eyes of people. He won't have the same luster. I mean, we already talked about the 2-5 record, and if he loses more in the finals,
damn,
it's not good.
Yeah,
but at least
this for you, Hector.
At least he doesn't make your ringless list. So
no, you know what? And LeBron is my man. I love LeBron James.
Yeah,
but that legacy, man.
Yeah, I think your legacy is about people. You know, whether it's fair or not fair, it's tied to what you do on the biggest stage and winning. And it doesn't mean I look at LeBron like he's a bum. We're not talking about him like he's Dwight Howard, but you don't have. You're not 6 for 6 like Jordan. You're not. Kobe was 5 and 2. You don't have that.
They 7 rings. They didn't want Kobe to have that, boy.
Yeah, you're not. You don't have that kind. I mean, we might be talking about Steph Curry already being 2 for 2 this year.
Yo, Steph Curry is going to retire with 4 or 5 rings.
I give him 3. I give him 3. I give him 3.
I give him 4 or 5.
4 or 5 rings.
I give him 4 or 5. So? Yes, bro.
But I heard the talk of KD going to
I've heard that. That's very. If
that happens, then I could. 4, maybe the 4.
I'll give him 4 or 5.
It's real. It's gonna be interesting to see what KD would take to do that, and that means they wouldn't bring back Harrison Barnes. So that's interesting, man.
Yeah,
I'm always
the league for the next couple of years belongs to Steph Curry.
Do you know what their spacing would be like if they have him and KD with Klay Thompson?
Nah. You know what? I take that. I don't think it's gonna work though. I don't think it'll work because you see what's happening in OKC with KD and Westbrook. It's like one of the powerhouses got to go for them to win, bro. You can't have 2 stars of that magnitude. Imagine Jordan had Reggie Miller on his team. It wouldn't have worked.
Right. You're saying you need to have somebody that knows it.
No, you need the sidekick. You need for your particular, like, we had Rodman for rebounds.
Somebody's going to have to dumb their game down.
We had Pippen with his all-around. We had this guy doing this. Steve Kerr at the 3-point.
Kobe and Shaq won 3, even though they fought their way through it.
They did, but to me, they was still...
Shaq was still the A and Kobe was still the B.
Yeah, they didn't stay in each other's way. Kobe and Shaq was on his way out, obviously. He got his, he played he had his run in Orlando, came to Lakers, he needed those rings, got out. But I don't know, 2 shooters who could possibly give you 50 or 60.
Yep.
I don't know how that's gonna work, man. I don't know. That's why I think OKC is not winning, bro.
Yeah.
One of those shooters, just like Harden realized, I gotta go.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be the guy here. It can't be 3 superstars.
It
could be 3 superstars in 1 rebounding, assist, and you got the scorer.
Yeah.
That's why the Jazz always work. Jazz, as much as he was under
Carmelo. Oh,
second to me.
Oh yeah, about
Charles Barkley.
Yeah, he's
second.
Yeah,
I hate him.
Charles Barkley. Yeah, he's a coon. He's a coon.
I hate it.
Fuck Carmelo.
He used to get on Allen Iverson all the time for the braids. He calling him. I'm like, get out of here, bro.
Yeah.
But they worked. That system they had in Utah, with Jerry Sloan, was one of the ringless. The man could have won a ring, man. I wanted Sloan to win, but I hated Carmelo.
When Jordan stole that ball, oh my God, I loved it. I loved it. I love what I could talk to him about I did not want Malone to get anything.
I rooted for the Jazz so hard.
Oh, you wanted the Jazz? Oh yeah, you were a Knicks fan.
He's a Knicks fan.
For the Jazz so hard.
I was a bigger Malone hater than I hated Jordan.
I don't think people. I haven't even felt a disdain for a team like the way I dislike the Bulls when I grew up. Oh, I hate.
No, you know what? You know what? Let me not say that. I hated these fans.
I hate the Heat too.
Because
that's what it was. That's what it was too. But
the fans went from the Jordan era. Jordan left. They became Sixer fans, Heat fans, Laker fans. Then they went to Cavs.
Now the Cavs.
Braun left. They went to my. I'm like, yo, make up your mind.
Yeah, you're right.
But you know what people always say to you? Like, I'm not a fan of the team. I'm a fan.
I
of the
hate that.
Shut up.
I was a fan of Carmelo. He was on Denver, but I was a Knicks fan. I'm a fan of Kobe.
Yeah. I am, but I'm never gonna call myself a Laker fan.
I can't call myself a Laker fan. My pops like the Lakers and the Knicks.
Right.
Never.
I was like, nah, I'm mellow, sadly.
Like I said, LeBron is my dude. I've always just been a LeBron fan. I can never say I was a Heat fan. I can't say I was a Cavaliers fan. It's just LeBron. I like the way he plays ball, so I've always been a LeBron fan. But I've never been a fan of those teams.
I used to always say, like, you're not a real fan unless you stick with your team. And I remember getting in an argument with my fiance because she was a Celtics fan. She said
my wife was a fake Celtics fan.
Yeah,
shout out to you.
I called her.
I'm going to applaud you.
I called her a fake Celtics fan. It actually got into a little argument, which I don't call anybody a fake fan, but I have to say I have a ton of respect for my man right here, who really stuck with the Bulls. Like he's like just like I'm on my way out, bro.
I thought you already left.
We had stuck with the Knicks.
I'm peeking my head back in, man. It's hard, bro. Yo, it's hard, man.
Yo, you know what, Colin? I know that you're not going anywhere. I know it's just talk. Because you know what? Your daughter's not gonna let you go anywhere.
Yeah, my daughter's bro.
Diehard Knicks.
First of all, her uncle, go to his house, is mellow everywhere. We have Knicks pajamas. They have my daughters have Knicks jerseys.
Yeah.
They have. She plays the game. She's looking for Carmelo. We go to the Nets to watch. Go to the Barclays, the dark bar. Barclays has lighting like this.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
We go there. She's like, "Daddy, where's Melo?" I'm like, "This is the Barclays. We got to go across town." But it's hard, bro. It's like I said, being beaten for so many years, but you in love.
Yeah.
But you know it's gonna be another cheating year again. You're gonna get hurt, but you just keep walking in with hope.
Oh yeah.
How much hope am I supposed to have, bro?
I don't know, man.
Anthony Davis is looking like, because I love Anthony Davis. The Pelicans is looking like my new team, bro.
Anthony Davis is gonna be a problem.
That's my team. I'm looking at the Pelicans, bro.
It's gonna be a problem.
I'm gonna start flying out to go to I'm dead serious. I'm gonna start flying out to go to those games. Whenever he comes out here, I'll go see him play.
Yo, shout out. Speaking of that, applaud Paul George.
For what? For coming back?
My nigga, off a
broken what he's
leg.
Doing now?
Off a broken leg.
I'm a pacer hater. But I applaud the player.
In the blood.
It's in the blood from the Reggie Miller days.
I get it. I can't even be mad. Like, I get it.
I gotta applaud Paul George though. I have to.
I want you to tell the people where they can find you, man.
Oh man.
Everybody that's listening right now, this is Dexter Henry. Yeah. Sports extraordinaire. He will be back.
I'll definitely come back.
He will be back to
talk
sports.
We need to get him in the house with a few other sport lovers.
Because this guy, he's the sports expert. I didn't want to do a sports show without having somebody with expertise in the room.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to shoot from the hip and people tell me, "Yo, go to hell, biz." So I'd rather you curse Dexter out.
I hope nobody curse me out.
Nah, they gonna curse you out. But yo, tell them where they can find you: Twitter, Instagram, TV.
Yeah, there's a lot of places because I'm West Indian. I have like 17.
Hey, shout it out, baby.
So you can find me on Twitter at Bag Broadcaster, BAG Broadcaster. That's for Backpack Broadcasting. At Nets Daily Video. At D Henry News 12. Instagram. DapperDex23 or Backpack Broadcasting. You can find me on Facebook. I'm easy enough. Just do a name search or like the Backpack Broadcasting fan page. Appreciate the support.
Okay. Yeah. So anything, Cake?
I don't know. Anything?
This is the first sports
I have a question for you
What's
guys.
What's up?
What are you excited about coming up in sports? Soon, because the Knicks ain't going to
nothing.
the playoffs.
Not really.
I'm excited. Playoffs.
Baseball.
Playoffs.
Like you, I'm excited for the offseason basketball. See what happens. But
I'm excited for playoffs. I'm excited for playoffs.
Like you said, the playoffs.
I'm excited for playoffs.
Playoffs are always good, man. It's a good time in the NBA.
I won't lie to you. I fell off of baseball for a few years. I was heavy in baseball before.
I'm a Mets fan, so I'm excited about my Mets.
I like the crosstown. You know what I mean? So
I used to go to Mets games.
But I actually go to the. Sadly, I go to the Mets games.
Mets games are actually fun.
Charge you $90 for a beer. So
$150 for a burger. That's how I usually go.
$150.
That's
like taking over your pockets.
So
$60 for a cup of water. That's how it goes.
It's getting crazy out there, though. No, seriously,
it's very expensive.
You can't even take your family to games.
It's very expensive.
It's crazy.
I want to take my daughter. I gotta go sell my kidneys on the black market. You know what I mean?
I don't know where it's going.
Yo, it's the About Nothing podcast. This is our first live broadcast and sports show. So we gave y'all 2 for 1 tonight.
Real.
And
let me check my angles.
We definitely gonna do this again because everybody was asking for sports. But like I said, I didn't want to come here and talk about sports and not know what the hell I'm talking about and have a couple people curse me out. So we're gonna do another sports show. We don't know when. Soon, definitely, because Dexter's hot right now. You know what I'm saying? He's a Knicks fan like me, so we might go fight a couple of people. But anything, man? We have anything before we go?
Oh no! Shout out to Kelsey. She wasn't here tonight. She couldn't make it.
Yo, Kelsey made me mad.
So you guys have another.
Man. The young lady, man.
The young lady on
She's a sports fan because of her man, as she should.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I want to shout out my kids, the Knicks fans. So I want to say thank you to my kids for riding with me through this horrible journey.
That's love. That's real love.
Shout out to y'all people making fun of my kids, talking about I'm treating them bad because I made them Knicks fans. That's their fault. They're old enough to make their own decisions. You know what I'm saying? Yo, it's the About Nothing podcast, man.